Hello, welcome. My name is Melissa. I'm HealthAware's registered dietitian. This is our online weight management class. Excuse me. Today, we are going to be talking about eating out with the changes in masking kind of going on with COVID and things sort of on the upswing. A lot more people are eating out, and so it seems like an appropriate time to talk about eating out in relation to weight management. The good news with going out is that it doesn't mean that you have to give up on your weight management goals. It can be more challenging to eat out at restaurants, but it's not impossible to keep your weight management goals in mind. So today we're going to talk through 10 tips for eating out and managing your weight. Number one, make a plan ahead of time. These days, if not many restaurants, have their menus available online. A lot of restaurants have their menus available online. Almost all of them, it seems like you can find a menu online. If you're not familiar with the menu of where you're going, read it, look it up online, read it before you get to the restaurant. Some restaurants even have nutrition information available online, which can be very helpful in helping you guiding you towards the healthier choices. So a lot of the restaurants that are more chain type of restaurants, like Cheesecake Factory, for example, they are more likely to have nutrition information online in addition to their menu. So those kinds of things are possible to find. So plan ahead. Number two, don't go hungry. You've probably heard that you shouldn't go grocery shopping when you're hungry because it can make you want to make less healthy decisions on the foods that you buy. The same thing can apply to going out to eat at a restaurant. If you arrive at a restaurant feeling overly hungry, perhaps even hangry, then you're setting yourself up to potentially overeat. Hunger is very sneaky like that. If you're absolutely starving before you leave for a restaurant, have a small snack like a piece of fruit or something so that you're not completely on empty when you get to the restaurant. Number three, scan the menu for those danger words. The way that a dish is described on a menu can give you clues about its healthfulness or lack thereof. You want to choose foods that are steamed, grilled, roasted, baked, broiled, or poached. Those cooking methods typically use less fat, or none in many cases, and can contain fewer calories. Avoid those foods that are described as fried, pan-fried, crispy, crunchy, breaded, creamy, sautéed, smothered, or rich. Those foods typically contain more fat and more calories than the other methods I mentioned. Number four, be that person. You know what I mean. Don't be afraid to be the one to ask the waiter or chef about ingredients or preparation methods or possible substitutions to the menu items. Chefs want to make sure their customers are happy, and you want to make yourself healthy. I am that person. My dad is that person to ask, oh, do you have steamed vegetables? I don't see them listed here on the menu, but do you have steamed vegetables I could order on the side? And a lot of the time, you can actually get those healthier food items that may not be listed or that can be substituted in to improve the healthfulness of the dish. Number five is to eat mindfully. And this applies not just to restaurant eating, but to eating at home, anywhere. Eat mindfully. Take time to pay attention to the aromas and the flavors of your food and how you're feeling while eating it. Slow down and eat intentionally. Put your utensils down between bites. I've had a few people tell me that they've tried that and it works for them to be more mindful about eating. Try to chew each bite at least 20 times before swallowing, which is very difficult. We typically don't chew 20 times before swallowing. When you eat, a hormone called ghrelin signals to your brain when you're full and that you don't need to eat anymore. but it takes about 20 minutes for that process to happen. So slowing down gives the brain and the body the time it needs to get that full signal before you overeat. Number 6, ask for sauces and dressings on the side. This is something that I do always. Sauce, dressings, other toppings can contain surprising amounts of fat, calories, sugar, sodium. Ask your waiter if those can be served on the side of your dish, which is, again, not an uncommon request. I do it all the time. Many days, foods are actually being served that way with the dressings on the side. I've found that out many times. I'll ask for a dressing on the side with a salad, and it already comes that way. But don't be afraid to ask. This way, you'll have total control over how much of that sauce or dressing you eat, and you can manage your calorie intake a little bit better. Number 7, order a soup or a salad to start. There actually are studies that indicate eating a soup or salad before your main dish can reduce your calorie intake up to 20%. Ask for that salad dressing to be served on the side, like I just said, and choose a soup that's more broth-based, like a minestrone or vegetable soup, rather than one that's cream-based, like cream of mushroom or potato. Number 6, color your plate. Look for dishes that include colorful vegetables or fruits, or ask for vegetables to be substituted or added to your dish or served on the side. Many restaurants, like I mentioned a few moments ago, many restaurants will let you order a side of steamed vegetables, even if that isn't explicitly listed on the menu. Many restaurants do list steamed vegetables on the menu. I will give you an example. Thai food restaurants almost always have a side of steamed vegetables listed in their menu, usually at the end. And anytime I go to a Thai restaurant, I always get a side of steamed vegetables because it helps to fill me up more without adding very many calories, so I'm not eating as much of the heavier, more dense type of foods. Number 9, of course, it makes sense. Watch your portions. There are 2 ways to manage portions. There's really quite a lot, but we're going to talk about 2. 2 ways to manage portions. One is the plate method, in which half of your plate should be vegetables, raw or cooked. 1/4 should be lean protein, and then the other quarter should be the grains or starches, like potatoes or pasta or rice. So you think of your plate, of course, as a circle, half vegetables, 1/4 protein, and 1/4 of the starch or carb. The other method that I'm going to talk about uses size estimation. So the amount of lean protein that you have at a meal should be about the size of a deck of cards. The amount of grain or starch should be about the size of a fist or less. Fist size does vary, I acknowledge that. So think more of a woman size fist, because I know some men especially can have very, very large hands. So think fist of a woman or less. It's about a cup. And the amount of vegetables should be however much you want, as long as they aren't fried or cooked in a bunch of oil or cream sauce or butter. Then the last tip is don't drink your calories. Beverages, alcoholic or not, can add significant amount of calories to a meal. Avoid large alcohol drinks and the sugar-sweetened beverages. For example, going with our Thai restaurant theme, Thai iced tea or a regular soda. Instead, choose plain or sparkling water, water flavored with lemon slices. That's one of my favorites at restaurants. Or a small, meaning 5 ounces, glass of wine if you do choose to drink alcohol. If you're trying to lose weight or manage your weight, it is possible to eat out and be successful with your goals. It does take extra effort and determination and thought, but you can do it. You can be healthy and enjoy eating out. Let me know if you have any questions about this topic. I'm happy to answer any of those questions, see any comments. And until next time, be healthy.